Hello, students. Today we are going to begin with the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. So, what would you do if you have to make a choice between two options? Selecting the better one of the two would be obvious, isn't it? But that would only be possible if you were familiar with both the options. But what if somebody presented you with two options that you are not familiar with? Then how would you make a choice? So this brings me to the poem that we will learn about today. This poem elaborates about the indecision and the uncertainty about making choices that the poet has to make in life. So, before I begin the poem, I'd like to give you some information about Robert Frost. Robert Frost was an American poet. His work was initially published in England before being published in America, and some of his most famous poems are Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, The Gift Outright, and The Road Not Taken, which we are about to study. Now we will read the poem and learn about it stanza by stanza or verse by verse. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveller. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth, then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. So here we can see that in the first stanza, the speaker is walking through a forest whose leaves have turned yellow. Now, when do leaves turn yellow? Leaves turn yellow during the fall season. That is also said to be autumn, where the color of the leaves change and they change from green to brown and yellow. And so he says that he is very sorry he could not travel both and be one traveler. So since he could not travel on both the roads, he had to choose one of them. And so he says, and be one traveler. He had to travel down one road. And because he couldn't decide which road he had to travel, which road he should travel, he stood there and he says he stood there for a long time and he looked at both the roads and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. So that means he stood there at the diversion and looked at both the roads, thinking, what happens if I take this one? And what happens? Where would I reach if I take the other one? But then, as with all other options in life, we have to decide. We cannot choose both. We have to pick one. Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same. Now, in the second stanza, what do we see? We see that the traveler, the poet, stands there and he says that I didn't take one, but I took the other road. It seemed just as good to the natural eye as the other one. And he says maybe it had the better claim because it was grassy. That means the other road that the poet did not take was the one that was traveled by many people. And the one that he decided to take was one that was less traveled by. But he said that in the end, looking at both of them, he couldn't really say he says, Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. There was a very marginal difference between both the roads, between both the options, and yet, according to him, he felt that he should take the one that was less traveled by. Then we go to stanza 3. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. So here we see that the poet, he says, he stood there, and both those roads looked just about the same, because as he walked, he could see, even though he was walking on one side of the road, he could see the other one. And he says that both of them seemed as though no one had ever come that way before. But he said he had to take one road, and so he walked ahead on that path. But he said that maybe someday I will come back to that fork in the road, or I will come back to that diversion. So he says, I kept the first for another day. Yet, he said, knowing how way leads on to way, that means once you set on one path or one course in life, you cannot come back on that path to go and take the other road. That means once you start traveling, you have to move ahead on that very road. So he says, I doubted. So even though he thought he would come back, but he knew in his heart of hearts that he would never come back again. And so we come to the last stanza where he says, I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. So in the last stanza, the poet says that he would be recounting, or he would be telling this story of his life with a sigh, because he has gone ahead. He has gone so far ahead that he cannot even think of coming back. But then after many years in future, he would still think about that place that was the beginning of all the options that he took in life. And so he says he thinks about that place where he stood, where he thought that this is the starting point of my life. And he says that he took the one that was less traveled by. Many times there are many people in life who wish to follow the same path taken by others. But here the poet decides to take that road because very few people have traveled on it. And then he says that that decision that he made has made all the difference in his life. Now, let us go to the first verse and look at the rhyme scheme. Now, what is rhyme scheme? When we look at any stanza in the poem, we look at the last word. For example, in stanza number 1, the last word in it is wood. Now, then we look at the in line 2 of stanza number 1, that is both. Now, wood and both do not rhyme. Okay, so we will give wood alphabet A and both alphabet B. Now wood and stood rhyme, right? Wood rhymes with stood, and so we will say A, B, A, and stood rhymes with could. So A, B, A, and both rhymes with undergrowth. So we have A, B, A, B. Now we will proceed with the second stanza. The last word is fair, and then the next one is claim. It does not rhyme with fair. So we will have A, and then the second line we have B. The third line we have where, which rhymes with fair, and so we go A, B, A, and where also rhymes with there. So we go A, B, A, and then claim and same. The word that rhymes with whichever word in whichever line has to have the same alphabet. So fair A, claim B, where is the same as fair. So A, B, A, B. So the rhyme scheme of the poem is the way we have seen. It is the same for all the verses. Now, let us have a look at some of the words in the poem. Diverged is where two roads part or where there is a fork in the woods. Traveler is a person who travels. And then he says undergrowth. Undergrowth means where there are lots of uh, bushes in the forest, a thick growth of plants. Then took the other just as fair. That means both the roads looked, one looked as good as the other. Having the better claim, that means something that looks like a better option to us. Wanted where, that means it needed somebody to walk on it. Had worn them, that means people had walked on those roads just about the same. Trodden is to step on something. Doubted, he wondered if he should ever come back again. And so, to wrap up the poem, what we realize is that all of us have to make choices in our lives. We are faced at every moment in our lives with the choices that we make. There is no running away from choices, but we have to think logically, what kind of a choice am I making? And once we have made that choice, there is no option but to keep moving ahead on that path in life. And so here we see that just like Robert Frost, he says that the road not taken, even though we go ahead in life on one particular road, we still think very wistfully about the path that we had not taken, and we wonder what would our life have been like if we had taken the other road, but we will never know. So we should be happy with whatever choices we have made in life. Thank you, students. Uh, I would like you to read the poem several times and write the question answers that are given after the poem. There are 4 question answers and 2 that you have to think about and write. You have to understand what is said in between the lines. For example, this quote, time is not measured by the passing of years, but by what one does, what one feels, and what one achieves. Time is not just years passing and us growing older, but uh, it is the what you say, whatever one achieves in one's life and what one feels and what one is able to do, that is, time is measured by what we have achieved, not just the passing of years. So I would like you to write all the question answers, and in case you have any questions or any doubts, then you can surely clarify all your doubts. Thank you and have a nice day.